Hi guys, this is Shane Sosa with Appraisal Claims here again, headquartered in New Braunfels, Texas. In the last video we talked about the appraisal clause, what it is, when to use it. An example to when you might think you might want to use it is if, like I said, the insurance company says they're paying $10,000 and your contractor says $30,000. Go back and listen to that video. There's a lot of good information in there. But of course, if you have any questions, you can always send that to us and we can look at it. But today we're going to talk about a couple of different claims that are related to hailstorms and how we got involved, when we got involved, and ultimately what the outcome was. So most recently there was one in the Marble Falls area, Horseshoe Bay area. It was a metal roof, very, very large metal roof, and it had ample amounts of hail damage on it from the latest hailstorm. So the contractor went out there, they met the insurance company, and they found hail damages everywhere, except when the policyholder got the estimate, it didn't include a full roof replacement, and they didn't understand why. And the insurance company cited something in the policy related to a cosmetic damage exclusion. Don't know about cosmetic damage exclusions? Definitely visit some of the other videos because it's becoming a very, very more prominent problem in the industry as time goes on. So this claim had a cosmetic damage exclusion according to the insurance company. So part of what our process here at Appraisal Claims is when we take on a claim, we request a certified copy of the policy so that we can review the actual contractual language between what the insurance company owes you and what they don't owe you. And what we found when we got that insurance policy from this particular insurance company is the denial language they were using and they were citing in the policy actually wasn't in the policy itself. So that's interesting. They're denying it using language that doesn't exist. So we asked the insurance company, can you help us find where that is in the policy? We reviewed the policy, we couldn't find the language that was in there. And we sent them back a $300 and something thousand estimate when their estimate was around $30,000. And when we asked them about the policy language, they said, hold on, we gotta go check with management. And I was like, that's fine. So they checked with management and they said, where do you want the check made out to? And that was just the simple things of actually reading the policy, not taking the insurance company's word for it, but literally looking at the denial language, double checking it, definitely not taking the insurance company's word for it, because let's face it, if as a public adjuster, if I take the insurance company's word for it every single time, I would not be very good at my job. In fact, my job is to audit the insurance company and make sure that what they're saying is actually true. And in this case, it was far from the truth. $30,000 roof claim in hail damage and gutters and windows, etc., turned it into over $300,000 that was paid by the insurance company with no real pushback. The fact that all we did was look at the claim, look at the evidence, read the policy, and provided counter evidence back to them. They reviewed our counter evidence and said, where can we send the check? So the client was very happy. He gave us an excellent review. He's referred us to friends, neighbors, and even businesses in his area. So it's been really, really good. So that's just one real life case that when they came to us, just by doing our due diligence and reading the policy, made all the difference. Now, another example was actually in the Spring Branch area. The same kind of thing. It was a metal roof, hail damage, but it had that dreaded cosmetic damage endorsement. This claim actually had the cosmetic damage endorsement, unlike the previous claim. They said it did, but it actually wasn't in there. So the insurance company retained an expert, which I will tell you, in most cases, when an insurance company hires an expert, you're already on the defensive, right? Oftentimes when insurance companies hire experts, it's to prepare their defense on why they don't want to pay the claim. More often than not, they're thinking, well, especially when it relates to hail damage, like hail damage is pretty common in Texas. Why do I need an expert to tell me what is and what isn't hail damage? It's because the insurance company, at least in our opinion, uses that expert to hide behind and say, well, our expert doesn't think it's hail damage, or he thinks it's purely cosmetic hail damage, so we're not going to pay your claim. The good thing is about finding with this engineer is we met the engineer on site, we walked the roof with him, and we found that the hail on this metal roof was significant enough that it actually overcame the language in that cosmetic damage endorsement. So before we got involved, they did not have a full roof. When we did get involved, we met their expert. We tied the policy language back into why the claim should be covered. Again, just auditing the facts. And that was, I think, roughly a $95,000 roof. When before, it was only $15,000 for the accessories, right? So we're talking tens and sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars that companies are leaving off of the table, not particularly to harm you as a policyholder, because they just they haven't been presented the facts in a way that makes them want to pay the claim. So at Palco Claims, that's what we do. We go out, we detail, we're very detailed in what we do. We read your policy, we look at the facts, we look at the weather data, we look at the damage, and we package it back to the insurance company saying, hey, Mr. Insurance Carrier, we disagree with your outlook and opinion on the loss for these reasons. Please review our claim package and let us know when we can maybe do a reinspection and meet back out to the loss. Sometimes the insurance companies want to meet us back out there and reevaluate. Sometimes they'll send a whole different adjuster, just because a fresh set of eyes sometimes can, bear a lot of fruit. And sometimes the insurance companies will send a different adjuster just because a public adjuster is involved. So a public adjuster being involved means that you as a policyholder have retained professional representation to help you to make sure that your claim is paid fairly and accurately. So sometimes the insurance companies will take a different approach just because you've hired a public adjuster. But that being said, there's a lot of reasons and value why you should have a public adjuster on your side. It's not just because you want to go after the insurance company. That's not the approach we take here at all. At Palco Claims, we take a fact-based approach, and your claim should have been paid or it shouldn't have been paid. It's that simple. We're not going after the insurance company, yell at thing, why didn't you pay for this? How are you cheating my client? Nothing like that. It's just a facts-based approach, and either the claim should have been paid or it shouldn't. So give us a call, send us your documentation. We'll happy to take a look at it for free. There's no risk for hiring Palco Claims because we only get paid if we get your claim paid. Our phone number is 512-553-6432, and you can visit us online at palcoclaims.com. Thanks. Talk to you soon.